Are back with the Second Temple. This is the Herod's Temple in the time of Jesus. Of course, like I just said, this is the Second Temple that was built in Jerusalem. Of course, it was destroyed, of course, in 70 A.D. When the Romans conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the city and destroyed the temple. But this is what the temple was like in the time of Christ. It says this up here. It says, Herod began construction of this magnificent temple in 1920 BC during the 18th year of his reign. The main construction phase was completed within about a decade. Detailed descriptions of this temple exist in Josephus and in early Jewish writings. The Roman army under Titus destroyed the temple during the capture of Jerusalem in AD 70. The temple was about 172 feet long, wide, and high, which is about 20 stories high. So this thing was massive, man. It was huge and tall. You know, you go down to the beach down there, and you think about how big those condos are, and you know how many stories that is, and some of them are close to that. And that's how big this temple was. It was a massive temple. And you see down here this little guy down here. I don't know if you can see him or not. This little guy, you think about that. You know, you compare him to how tall this thing was. It was a massive temple. You know, it's huge, 20 stories tall. So let's go down here, let's read some stuff. It says right here, the holy place, which is this right here. The holy place contained the lampstand, the table for the bread, the presence, and the altar of incense. The angel of the Lord appeared to Zechariah on the right side of the incense altar. So which this is called, of course, called the holy place, where they had the lampstand, table of bread, the presence, and altar of incense. Of course, like I was just talking about, how the angel of the Lord appeared to Zechariah in this, in the holy place. Next will be this right here. This is the inner sanctuary was surrounded on 3 sides by 3 stories of chambers containing 38 cells that house supplies and vessels of the ritual ceremonies. So these little compartments, I guess you could say, held storage, you know, for like food and you know, water, hay, I mean, all kinds of stuff, you know, that they needed inside the temple. So that was right there. Up here, you see the high priest entered the most holy place once a year. On the Day of Atonement, to offer incense and sprinkle blood, Josephus reports that this room was empty all through the original placement of the Ark of the Covenant, and the foundation stone was still visible. So, most holy place is this right here. So what happened is, you know, the priest would come in, and when he would go into the most holy place to make a sacrifice, and it would be a sacrifice to God for the sins of the Jewish people. That's why he would do that once a year in the most holy place, which was, that's what the Ark of the Covenant was at. And then, of course, up here is a massive curtain separated the holy place from the most holy place. When Jesus died, this curtain was torn in two from top to bottom, which is this right here. So right here you have, of course, the curtain which separated the holy place from the most holy place. And when Christ died, that curtain was torn in two. And the reason why that happened was when Christ died on the cross, there was no more sacrifices to be offered because he was the ultimate sacrifice. So God tore that curtain in two, meaning there was no more animal sacrifices because Christ was the ultimate sacrifice for our sins. Now, moving up here says this. It says there was an upper chamber above the sanctuary which allowed access through holes in the floor for cleaning of the gold-covered walls. Below, a ladder shown partially cut out or cut away, and the section gave access to the upper roof level. So up here, they would climb these ladders, and they would, like, you know, clean up and all that stuff up here in the upper compartments and stuff. So anyway, that's how massive this temple was. It was huge temple, and very interesting indeed, with it being 20 stories tall, and that's huge, man, very huge. Anyway, that's the Herod's temple, second temple that was at the time of Christ. Be right back with chapter 2.